Hi everyone, how are you? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is that you're watching this from. I want to say a very warm welcome to all of us. Very warm welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight's webinar, we are going to look at narcissism and give us a roadmap to recovery. So for those of us who are here for the first time, we've been doing this for quite some time. But if you're here for the first time, or you and I are meeting for the first time, my name is Ruth Waithera of the Soul Clinic. At the Soul Clinic is where we fix your pain, we help you feel good and live wholly. I'm so excited to see that we have a lot of us who have joined. We have several of us who are joining. And tonight I have a special category of people that I want to recognize. In the previous times, we have been doing ladies only sessions. And tonight I'm expecting quite a number of gentlemen to be joining us. So gentlemen, feel very welcome. This is where we meet to heal. This is where we meet to learn. We meet to unlearn. And we meet to be able to deal with our traumas and our pains. So for the gentlemen that are joining us today for the first time, I want to say karibuni sana, karibuni to the Soul Clinic. And I hope and pray that your sessions with us tonight will add value to you, bring clarity, and bring healing. So because I don't want to continue before I know that people are here, like I always say, let's say hello to one another. Please send your hello. Yes, yes. Please send your hellos to us if you're attending for the first time. Please, you can tell us I'm here for the first time. I'm seeing awesome people that have been with me here for a while. We've done this for months with you. Thank you so much for coming over and over again and learning stuff, even as we welcome the new members. I'm seeing we have a George Mokua. He's saying he's waiting. Karibu sana, George. I pray that your evening will add value, that your time with us will add value. Val Nzioka is saying she's waiting. Masi Kimeto waiting. Nancy Kamanda. Yes, we started now. Chepkoech, and always a pleasure to see you here. Mary Cairo is saying hi. So you can also tell us where you're watching us from so that we know how far we are able to reach you. Lois Ngonjo is saying she's ready for the session. Good evening, Lois. Charity Mushero, good evening. Joyce Maina, good evening. And Kamanda, good evening. Mwende Vetelo, good evening. Thank you so much for all being here. If you're here for the first time, you're much welcome. Karibu sana. I'm seeing a lot of hello. People saying they are here for the first time. Miriam Wainaina here for the first time. Peter Nyoike, Karibu. I'm welcoming the gentleman. I have a special welcome for you guys. This is the first time you're joining us. And my hope and prayer is that your session with us tonight will add value. Wow, Mary Cairo is saying she's here for the first time. She's hoping to learn more. Jero Flora Murugi here for the first time. Karibu sana, Karo, first time. Chepto, first time. Karibuni sana. Yes, I pray that you learn something here tonight. So like I had said, my name is Coach Ruth Waithera. I'm also a therapist. And tonight we are going to look at narcissism. So our webinar is on the roadmap to recovery, a guide to recovery for victims of narcissistic abuse. Why do I do lessons and teachings on narcissism? Because the word narcissism nowadays is thrown around so much. People are calling each other narcissists even without really going into consideration of what narcissism is all about, which can be a dangerous thing. It's dangerous because now everybody else is also up in arms saying, no, we can't call everybody a narcissist. It's not fair. It's not right, which I agree. I agree that it's not right to go calling everyone a narcissist, especially if you don't know what narcissism represents or what the hallmarks of narcissism are all about. Because in calling everyone a narcissist, you are likely going to miss out maybe on relationships that would have been healthy and functional and connective, where maybe you only needed to work on a few issues and then the relationship is able to serve you and to work. So that is the risk number one of throwing the word narcissism around. But also the other reason as to why I do what I do is because I know narcissism abuse victims are very invalidated out there. People don't understand it when you tell them you have been abused by a narcissist. And because nowadays people are throwing the word around, so even if you say you are being abused by a narcissist, people don't believe you. People go like, nowadays everyone is calling everyone a narcissist. So what does that do to you? It invalidates you. It re-traumatizes you. It throws you into confusion. It throws you into depression. Your anxiety multiplies and you become this human that cannot function. So one of the reasons I do what I do is because I want to validate victims of narcissistic abuse. I want to validate you. I want you to know that someone is hearing you, someone is feeling you, someone is understanding you. You're not all out alone. Because I know with narcissistic abuse comes a lot of gaslighting. Gaslighting is that crazy making. So sometimes you feel like you can't validate your own truth. You actually don't feel like you have a truth, and people will invalidate you. People won't understand what it is that you're complaining about. But when you come for these sessions, you know that you're validated, that someone has heard you, somebody understands the kind of pain that you're going through, and that it is okay and you can heal. Because narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological abuse. And it leaves such a lasting, devastating impact on its victims. And sometimes, especially if you're dealing with a covert narcissist, the narcissist is normally the darling of the community. They are the darlings of the family. Their public image is so good. You, the partner, are the only person that understands who this person is. And no matter how much you try to explain to other people, people don't get it. And for tonight, because I have been doing a women's sessions only, so we have been referring to the narcissist as a he, but we have gentlemen with us tonight. So I will also interchange the he and the she, because although research shows that the majority of narcissists are male, we also have a lot of female narcissists. So we will interchange the he and the she, because narcissism is not purely a male's domain. So it's a very devastating emotional and psychological abuse. Because what happens is that on many occasions, it's not as obvious. And narcissists do not target bad people. They target the good among us. They target the kind. They target the honest. They target the go-getters. The ones that who look like they have a light, the healers, the empaths. But I also like to say they target wounded empaths. So they'll target the empaths. They'll target the good people in the community. Now, the challenge normally is the good people have a very difficult time reconciling how they feel about this person and how this person is treating them. Why? Because you have never imagined that someone can be evil or someone can be so bad to cause you so much pain and not give a damn about it. So that is why narcissistic abuse becomes like this huge mess that you don't know how to undo. You don't even know how to deal with it. You don't know whether to leave. You don't know whether to stay. You don't know how to survive in it. Because it can get that messed up for you, because you know about treating people right. You have values that you stand for. And you expect that as long as you're treating someone right, then they should be reciprocating the goodness that you're giving them. Not so for the narcissist. The narcissist finds you as light. That's what how I like to demonstrate it. That the narcissist finds you as light. They see light, they get curious. This is good. So they come closer. But what happens is that over time, they have the capacity and the potential to dim your light until you become a shadow of your former self. You can't understand what just happened to you. But all you know is that since I met this person, something about me has changed. I am no longer the same vibrant person. My energy levels completely go down. I have no zero zest for life because narcissists are energy vampires. They introduce negative energy into your space. And if you're not careful, you move from positive energy levels to very negative energy levels. Your life will start to slow down. You start to get depressed. You start to get sick, including physical illness. And these are some of the reasons as to why narcissistic abuse is so dangerous. And that is why I have decided I'm going to raise awareness. I am going to teach people about narcissism. Why? Because with the right tools and resources, you can recover and you can regain control over your life. So in our webinar tonight, I want us to discuss a roadmap that you can use to recover from narcissistic abuse. And even as I go into the roadmap, I think I want to talk about the hallmarks of narcissism, or what would make you feel like this person is a narcissist. The number one thing is their lack of empathy. They don't feel you. They will cause you pain and move away as if what they did is just nothing. Or like the relationship you had with them doesn't matter completely. Nothing about what you shared. You could have shared a lifetime or 10, 15 years, 20, 30 years with this person. And then they walk away as if all that was nothing. Why? Because you are the one who was emotionally invested in that relationship. Rightly put, narcissism is a con game. And if you're not careful, they'll con you your whole life. Because while you presented yourself and your honest self came with the best of intentions, for them, it was a game. They were never serious. And then they have no capacity to connect emotionally. No capacity at all. So their relationships are very shallow, very hollow, very onto the surface. And that is why they can easily walk away from you as if it didn't matter. Or they can do something so hurtful to you as if what you had just doesn't matter. They'll cause you pain. You'll be crying, you'll be groaning in pain, but they don't feel it. So one of the hallmarks of narcissism is that lack of empathy. Another one is grandiosity. And I like to say grandiosity is not pride, because people imagine that they are self-centered, self-absorbed. The narcissist is very self-absorbed, very self-centered, very grandiose. And I liken grandiosity to a larger than life experience of themselves. They imagine that there is God the Father, God the Son, the Holy Spirit. This is for Christians. And then they imagine right at the top there is the narcissist. That is grandiosity. That's how they view themselves. So where you think you're dealing with a human who you converse with, a human that will tell you, by the way, you've hurt me, and I'm feeling ABCD. I don't think what you're doing is right. With a narcissist, there's nothing like that. They can never admit to their wrong. Why? Because of that sense of grandiosity, the larger than life experience of themselves. Then they have this excessive need for admiration. You will give admiration for everything. They want to be recognized, even for what they're supposed to be doing. They want it to be recognized and recognized heavily. And there is never enough. Actually, appreciation for a narcissist is like pouring into a hollow bucket or a bottomless pit. Uwa haijai. And the sad thing is that it's never reciprocated. And that is why victims of narcissistic abuse get very exhausted emotionally, because you're always giving. You're always giving. Them, they don't give you anything in return other than hell. They don't give you any positive thing in return. They are pathological liars. They will lie about everything, what is necessary and what is unnecessary. You look at someone lying, it's like they have no capacity for truth. So they are pathological liars. A sense of entitlement. Like you should be worshiping the ground on which I walk. I walk, you worship the ground. Why? Because I'm high up there and you are low down here. Constant need for validation. They want to be admired, validated. And why do they require so much validation? Their self-esteem is normally very, very low. So while a narcissist may look like their self-esteem is very high, if you understand them and you look closely, their self-esteem is normally at below zero. That is why they require constant validation, admiration. They require it like oxygen, because their self-esteem is very, very low. So what is the roadmap that helps you deal with a narcissist? The most important thing, the first step, is to understand narcissistic abuse. Why is that so? Because it is unwise to go to war. And I use the word going to war very deliberately. So it is very unwise to go to war with an enemy whose tactics you don't understand. You will be beaten 10-0. The narcissist will beat you proper. Why? Because you are treating them like a normal human being. Like we can resolve our issues like two adults. No! With a narcissist, you can't resolve an issue like two adults. There is nothing like that. So they'll keep hitting you. You come with goodwill, they spit at it. They hit you. Maybe not literally, but that's what they do to your efforts. So you are having efforts to try and reconcile the relationship, they'll hit you. They will despise your efforts. So if you don't understand what it is that they are trying to do, you get very frustrated and very depressed. So it's important. The first thing, and that is why I do the classes I do on narcissism, is to understand what narcissism looks and feels like. Understand those patterns of manipulation and control, because it is a control and manipulation game. They are experts at mind games. Those mind games will cause you a lot of emotional and psychological distress. Things like gaslighting. Gaslighting, I told you, is the crazy making where they make you doubt that your reality. Did I hear what I had? Did I see what I saw? I mean, I was right there. When you did what you did, when you said what you did, I saw it, I witnessed it. Then how come now you're trying to say that what I saw is not what was happening? Projection. They project their personality on you. Just know that the closest you'll ever come to truth with a narcissist is the things they are accusing you of. So if they're accusing you of something, that's normally like a confession. So you'll be there trying to defend yourself, while in reality, all they are doing is that they are projecting their behavior on you. They will isolate you from your family and friends just to make sure that you've become an easy prey that they can deal with. They give you silent treatment. Silent treatment is where somebody decides, I am not going to talk to you. You do what you want to do, but I ain't talking to you. One day, a week, a month, some silent treatment even goes for years. And stonewalling. Ako tu na hakuongeleshi. You put efforts to try and reconcile matters. Then they don't. They ignore. You will be the one who feels like this relationship needs an improvement. We need to work on this. Then they never do that. So they'll play mind games and emotionally manipulate you. And while many narcissists are very likable and charming in the beginning of a relationship, because that's how they pull you in. They study you. And don't underestimate their ability to study you. They watch you, they study you, they know this one is the prey. Later on, after being very likable and very charming in the beginning, appealing, you meet this person, they are so appealing to you, you feel like you've met a soulmate. Later, they will do a fast one on you. They pull a fast one on you, and they do a 180-degree turn. It's like day and night, darkness and light. You almost can't sit to imagine what just happened there. So they become the complete opposite of what you thought you knew. So you will spend your time trying to make this relationship work to go back to what you initially knew. And that is why a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse spend all their time. Because you are like, but at the beginning we were. This lady was so appealing. She was so good to me. I thought I'd found the perfect wife. What happened? Then she keeps feeding you garbage to make you think and to believe that there's something you did. If only you can undo that which you did to make her treat you this way, then the relationship will go back to normal. Then now you start on a cycle of trying to do things for them to make them happy. That is the bottomless pit I told you about. It never feels, they never appreciate it. That relationship will never go back to where it started. Why? Because where it started was not real. Someone was playing a game on you, just that you didn't know. So you have trouble reconciling yourself and your mind to what just happened there. I mean, how did this relationship move from being so loving and so nice, this person being so kind and so charming, to what I'm dealing with today? I mean, I can't reconcile that. I don't know what happened. You get confused, you get stuck. So we keep hoping that things will go back to normal. 20 years later, you are still trying. Trust you me, it's not going back to normal. It was a bait, and the bait caught you. So why would you keep throwing the bait, even if you were to go fishing? Why would you keep throwing the bait if you already caught the fish? Of course, you won't do that. So that's why they are not interested in going back to that initial stage of the relationship, because you know what, for them, that was a bait. It caught them what they wanted. Now here they are. They are living life large. You're miserable, and they're happy. Their public image is complete. The second thing you need to do to recover from narcissistic abuse, the first one, remember I've said, is understanding. You need to understand narcissism. There are no two ways about it. You need to understand narcissism, how they manifest, what tools they use to keep you stuck, how they manipulate you and do mind games on you. That you need to understand. The second thing is to develop emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is that capacity to be aware of. You are aware of your own emotions. You're able to control them. You're able to express them. And you're able to handle interpersonal relationships wisely and thoughtfully. Because if you don't develop emotional intelligence, the narcissist will make you and other people believe that you are the crazy one. Because they'll be throwing for you a bait small like this. You go all crazy. All crazy, complaining, throwing tantrums. You have no idea that they are projecting their personality on you. You don't. So they will throw a bait, sit back, relax, watch you go crazy. And I want you to realize that in a relationship with a narcissist, they feel like you are an extension of themselves. They don't view you as an autonomous, independent being. They view you as an extension of themselves. So to them, you're supposed to be thinking like them, acting like them. So if you're behaving differently, it simply means that you're going against them, you are defying them, and therefore you ought to be punished, because they expect you to be enmeshed and intertwined with them, such they're supposed like to swallow your personality. Swallow your personality, cover it, assume it never existed. You didn't have goals, you didn't have dreams. Your work was to come and to slave for them, to be a slave for them. Then now they'll be happy. If you try to even for a moment extend your independence and assert your independence, there'll be a problem. So if you can't see what they are trying to do and understand your emotions and learn how to manage them, and this is where healing comes in, because you need to heal from the pain, the anger, because they will leave you very angry. They leave you very resentful. They leave you in a lot of pain. So you can't be an emotionally intelligent and walk if you're still in that state. They'll find a way of dragging you back in there. So that you're able to see clearly what it is that they are doing to you. Because if you don't do that, you will be bleeding all over. All over. You are in pain, you are bleeding. But you don't even know what hit you. You have no idea what hit you. You have no idea what it is that they are doing that is making you feel so depressed and so nasty and so angry, so resentful. You have no idea. You'll be paralyzed in fear, second-guessing your every move. You become this very insecure being because they have been projecting a personality on you that is not yours. For example, for those of us who are co-parenting with a narcissist, the narcissist will tell you something like, "This is such a terrible mother or a terrible dad." And you know what that will do to you? It will get you spinning because you know very well what kind of a father you are. You know very well what kind of a mother you are. You know how committed you are to your kids. You know how much sacrifice you make for those children. So how can you then say that I'm not a good mother or I'm not a good father? In reality, actually, if you're parenting with a narcissist, you most probably are the only present and healthy parent anyway. So if you're not careful, such kind of a comment will give you such an emotional dip. And then you will go on overdrive, trying to do everything you know how for your kids. And that is what the narcissist wants, because they don't want to take responsibility of parenting. They don't want to be held accountable for anything, because accountability is a serious issue for narcissists. They can't be held accountable for nothing. That's why they rave havoc everywhere, every time, because they can't be held accountable. No, you don't hold us accountable. So if you're not careful, now you'll be the one doing parenting 100%. Why? You're trying to prove a point that I'm a good parent. How can you not see? After everything that I do for these children, how can you not see? Then what are you doing? So you parent alone, then they sit and they watch. That's exactly what they wanted to happen. So if you're not careful, if you're not emotionally awake, you will take up all the responsibilities. They will sit back, they will exhale, they will relax, watch movies, go out with friends, cheat on you, because they will cheat on you. Where they're cheating, enjoying life, going out with friends, and whatever else they are doing, you'll be running around like a headless chicken, trying to mend holes that are imaginary. So this is where emotional intelligence will help you understand what exactly is happening. And once you know what is exactly happening, you set boundaries. Set boundaries with this person. Yes, it is possible to set boundaries with them, and they will push them. I can assure you that we set a boundary, they will push it. They want to see how far they can get away with it, so they'll push it. So you need to set boundaries, keep reinforcing them. At first, it will be a difficult task, but eventually becomes something you can do without too much trouble. Then you communicate those boundaries and refuse to spin around. Just refuse to have somebody spinning you around. Refuse to have that. So that is what emotional intelligence does. The other reason as well you need to be very emotionally intelligent is because narcissism thrives in chaos. If you have ever met people who are peace averse, they do not like the mention of peace. Where you're looking for peace in your relationship, then they're looking for chaos, and they'll create chaos out of everything and nothing. They don't want to see you having fun, looking relaxed, like you're enjoying yourself, like you're somewhere pursuing your purpose or enjoying peaceful moments. No. Why? Because they are jealous of those things. How can you have peace? And me, I don't know peace. How can you look so happy? It's like you have a secret code and I don't have it. So because me, I don't have that secret code, so if I can't have it, then you can't have it. So they'll create chaos out of nothing. You were peaceful. You thought you were enjoying yourself. You actually thought it's going to be a loving day. Then they'd win it. Why? They enjoy chaos. So they don't understand the language of peace. They don't understand the language of love. They don't understand the language of tenderness. They do not. So if you don't understand what is happening, if you don't have emotional intelligence to know when they do this, this is what I do. Gray rocking, have going no contact, or having very low contact, because the ideal, if this was an ideal situation, the only way to deal with a narcissist is to go no contact. No contact means to Mesahawiana, I have even forgotten you existed and you forgot my name. I forget your name and you forget mine and we move on. But that is not always possible. So it's not always possible to go no contact. So sometimes you may need to really go low contact or gray rock. whereby you become boring also. Because remember, narcissists thrive on narcissistic supply. It's energy. So they want to draw negative and positive energy out of you and feed you with negativity. So you need to understand what exactly are they doing. They look for ways of spoiling good days and special occasions. So if you're the kind of a person that thrives on external affirmations, you want to be told you've done well. If you don't understand your intrinsic value as a human being, you have self-worth issues, you are a very easy prey for a narcissist, because they know how much you want to be validated, so they will withhold the validation. And when they withhold the validation, it really gets to you. It hits you bad. It hits you hard. So if you don't know what is happening, your heart will be so crushed, your heart will be so broken, and the narcissist will feel so powerful. So do I have a question or a comment up to that point before I go to the step number 3 on the roadmap to recovery? I'm seeing, if you have a question, put it in the chat. I'm seeing we have a lot of people who are saying, hello, everyone, just joined, ready to learn, here for the first time. I'm happy to have all of you. People watching from Mumias, Rachel Ann, I said I have a very warm welcome today for the guys in the house for the first time, because we have been doing these lessons as ladies. So we have guys who have joined us. So karibuni sana majama. Ask your questions. If you have a question, please put it in the comment. Someone is saying hapo kwa pathological liars and worshipped esteem. Yeah, narcissists are pathological, but they have no capacity to speak truth. None. They will lie and lie and lie and lie. Lie. Keep lying and lie some more. So it's good to know, so that if they do tell a lie, you're not caught off guard. I feel so seen right now. Oh, thank you, Mwende Vetelo. I'm so happy that you feel seen and validated. Yes, they lack empathy. They are gaslighters. The accusations, yes, you be accused for each and everything. Just know whatever they're accusing you of is what they're doing. I'm looking for a question. Is it possible to feel like you're a narcissist? Yes, it is possible to feel like you're a narcissist. And I suggest if you feel like you're a narcissist, just take some tests to see that. Remember, narcissism comes on a spectrum. All of us have some level of narcissism that helps us survive, that helps us cover ourselves, that helps us nurture our interests. That's not narcissism. So it's on a spectrum. Anybody who shows on a scale of 1 to 40, if you show anything above 15, then now narcissism can be considered as, remember, it's a personality disorder. So, but anything below that is just normal. So if you're feeling like maybe you're a narcissist, please take a test. Please take a test. Co-parenting with a narcissist, please help. Co-parenting with a narcissist is an uphill task. I think it's one of the most difficult things you'll ever do. And it's not normally co-parenting, it is normally parallel parenting. You parent this way, they parent that way. Coming together and saying we are going to raise our kids in a specific way, this is what we are going to do, that's not going to happen. So you parallel parent. And I'll talk about it later. Victoria is saying, wow, everything you said was so accurate. I'm very happy, Victoria. I'm looking for questions. Kengaran Jeroge, hello, is playing victim all the time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Narcissists are victims. Victims all the time. Even when the evidence is on the table. Even when you can prove, they'll play victim. By then, they have a way of just twisting that whole thing. It turns around. And instead of them apologizing, and instead of them saying, I've done you bad, now you start to feel like you're the one who needs to apologize because of how bad you have done them. They play victim. They are perfect at it. I'm enjoying this moment of truth revealed. Wow. Is it bad to be a narcissist? I thought it's a normal. human personality. No, it's not a normal human personality. It's a personality disorder. Narcissism may serve the narcissists, but for the victims, and the victims are who I think I am addressing here, it will kill you. Narcissism is one of those things that I say is someone who will kill you without ever raising a finger. They will never pinch you. Some of them. A lot of them are not physical because of their public image issues. So they are not physical, but they will kill you without ever lifting a finger like this. People won't understand what killed you. So they'll kill you through stress, they'll kill you through depression, they'll kill your dreams. Even if they won't kill you physically, they'll kill your dreams. You become a shadow of your former self. So they'll kill your dreams. So can narcissism be harnessed for something good? No, narcissism as a personality disorder cannot be harnessed for something good unless it's serving the interests of the narcissist, which is not something that I would encourage because the victims will really suffer for it. So I don't think narcissism can be harnessed for something. But remember, I've said it's on a spectrum. So anything 15 and above is what is considered as pathological because it affects their lives, it affects their relationships, it affects how they show up at work, it affects many areas of their lives. That is why it's a personality disorder. Eliud Kibet is asking, can narcissists fall in love? Can narcissists fall in love? I wonder. But I doubt. Why? Because they have no capacity. Love, as we understand it, requires respect, reciprocity, accountability. They have no potential for that. So they may have feelings at the beginning that maybe feel like love, but it's not love because they are so self-centered and so self-serving that it's not possible for them to be in a relationship with another person. If you are brought up by a narcissistic single parent, can you look for healthy people to parent you? Well, yes, it is possible to look for mother figures and father figures and people who can parent you in a healthy way. But the first thing that you need to do is to deal with the impact of being parented by a narcissist. Because being parented by a narcissist will really, really affect how you view yourself, how you show up in the world, your self-esteem, your self-worth. So it's important that you first of all address the effects of it, but you also look for healthy beings, mother and father figures out here, and maybe can parent you better. I'm seeing a lot. Someone is asking, I have a narcissistic boss. How best should I deal with all-time lies, fake accusations, and short-changing everything? The only way to deal with a narcissist is to present truth and facts. Otherwise, if you can't present truth and facts, you're doomed. So present truth, present facts. Set serious, clear boundaries. You must be ready to stand up for yourself with a narcissist. And narcissists are bullies. So there has to, I always say, if narcissist is bullying, bully them back. But don't bully them the way they are bullying you. Bully them with truth and facts. Because those cannot be disputed. But if you come by word of mouth, they'll beat you at it. So narcissists, the best way to deal with them is truth and facts. Speak your truth, present facts. Do your work and do it above board, above reproach. Because if you give them like a small space like this to put their finger through, they'll bring your house down. So make sure you are above board, you're above reproach. Make sure you're doing your work well so that they don't have something that will keep complaining about. However, also remember that even if you did your work perfectly, like there is no hakuna makosa, narcissists will always find something. So just do your work well, make sure it's satisfactory, have your facts well, have your truth ready. That's the only way you deal with a narcissist. Wow. Now, in the interest of time, I want to go to step 3. The step number 3 is creating a support system. It becomes very hard to recover from narcissistic abuse alone. Ask the victims. Alone becomes very difficult. And it also becomes very difficult to find people that understand what it is that you're going through. hard. A lot of people will listen to you. They can't really touch, they can't really understand what you're talking about. They will invalidate you. For people who are in relationships, romantic relationships with the narcissist, the advice that I tell them, the worst thing you'll ever do for yourself is to go for therapy with a narcissist and meet a therapist who doesn't understand narcissistic abuse. Instead of coming out of therapy healed and relieved, your burden will be multiplied 100 times. Because at the end of the day, because the therapist does not understand narcissism, the narcissist will play their mind games on the therapist. And the therapist will believe you, the victim, are the one who has got work to do. The narcissist will come out of the therapy room whistling, feeling very important. And when you get home, he will remind you that even the therapist affirmed them and confirmed that the problem is not them, the problem is you. So to get a support system that understands and feels you, people who have your own interest at heart, can be challenging for victims of narcissistic abuse. But it's important that you get support groups. Get them on Facebook, get them wherever. These are family, friends, people going through similar experiences. Get a therapist, get a counselor, someone who understands narcissism. Follow thought leaders in that field and learn from them. Because remember what I said, the first step is normally to gain understanding. Because if you don't understand what it is that you're dealing with, narcissism will kill you. Just a moment. Narcissism will kill you. So follow thought leaders, read, bring yourself on board, know what it is that narcissism presents. You will feel so affirmed the moment you realize, what? This is narcissism. Someone has been abusing me. I'm not going crazy. My pain is real. Someone has just affirmed me. So get a support system. It helps people who have been through similar experiences, or a therapist, a counselor, or family and friends that have your interest at heart, and they're able to help you navigate. And I'm so excited to offer you a support system right here. I want to offer you a space where you learn, heal, and grow together with other victims of narcissistic abuse. And I'm calling it the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Bootcamp, a 6-week support group program. It's designed to provide you with more in-depth strategies, tools for coping and recovering from narcissistic abuse, because they have their own tools that they use to make you spin and to corroga you, turn your life upside down. They have them. So you also need to have tools that help you heal, help you set boundaries, help raise the bar, because the only way to deal with the narcissist is to raise the bar. There's a level at which they don't know how to operate. So don't take the battle right where it's their A game. For example, don't never argue with a narcissist. It's their A game. So if you take the battle there, what exactly are you doing? Signing up for defeat. So don't go there. Learn to raise the bar up here where they can't reach it. They only see you operating. They don't know exactly what it is that you're doing, but you are doing well. So raise the bar. So I will teach you how to raise the bar with a narcissist. I'll teach you how to use your tools and your strategies to win. So why am I doing this boot camp? It's because I want you to thrive and to heal post-narcissistic abuse. This is just one aspect of your life. It's not everything. There is so much more. This could be 20%. You met a person, they have turned your life upside down. You can't dwell there forever. You've got to rise. This can't be the only thing that defines your life, that every time we meet you, you have a sob story. The sob story, oh, you know, I met someone and they did. It's a sob story. Sob stories should have expiry dates. Don't sob for life. So I want you to get to a space where healing has got everything to do with you and nothing to do with the narcissist. Where you read the need and the desire to revenge. You lose the need and the desire to do this person bad. I want you to move past the point where you are trying to make this person change, because they're not changing. They're not going to see your point of view. That's a long shot. So I want you to move beyond that space. I want you to move beyond the space where you want them to see you and appreciate your value. Darlings, they won't. It's not going to happen. Even if you presented yourself to them laced in gold, like I am gold to you, can you please see my value? They won't see it. I also want you to stop wanting to revenge. I want you to stop causing them pain. Give them a taste of their own medicine, because it is vain. There's no taste of medicine you're going to give them for them to understand what it is. You can't beat them at their game. Their game is inflicting pain. You can't beat them at it. And anyway, it's a waste of energy. The only way to beat a narcissist is to heal and to thrive, to see you happy, to see you in love. That is a win. So I want you to move beyond that desire to hurt and to revenge and to do all that. So I want to teach you how to truly win against a narcissist. Take them to unfamiliar territories. I told you about raising the bar. Take them to that very unfamiliar territory, like an eagle. You know the way the eagle flies high above the storm? I want you to be able to rise above there. Raise the bar against their very low games. And the reason is why I'm also doing this boot camp is because victims of narcissistic abuse are highly misunderstood and invalidated. So I want you to have that safe space where you feel seen and you feel heard. So what are we going to look at in the 6 weeks? We are going to unveil narcissism. They wear a mask. I want us to remove it. And once we remove the mask, we will see them for who they truly are. So I want us to look at narcissism as a personality disorder, a cluster B personality disorder. I want us to look at the hallmarks of narcissism, the things that I have touched on. We'll look at them in depth. So what makes narcissism so dangerous? It's their tools of trade. So I want us to look with their I want us to look at what tools do they use. Then in the second week, we look at the different types of narcissists. Malignant narcissists, covert narcissists, overt narcissists. We look at male and female narcissists. How do they present? Narcissistic parents and siblings, because yes, parents can be narcissistic. Your siblings, your children can be narcissists. So we'll look at all that, and then we'll see how does relating with narcissists affect you, especially in terms of your emotional and psychological well-being. That is what we'll do in week 2. Week 3, this is where I'll teach you how to master communication. Because if you can't go no contact, especially if you're parallel parenting, but let's call it co-parenting. If you're co-parenting with this person, you've got to stop getting sucked into endless battles and guilt tripping and stonewalling. Because communicating with a narcissist can be such a daunting task. So it's important to know how to communicate effectively and minimize harm on yourself and protect yourself. Because if you don't communicate effectively, they'll harm you. So how will you set boundaries and stick to them? We will learn that. How do you avoid unnecessary arguments? How do you remain calm during a narcissistic rage? Because they love to rage. They will rage at you. So how do you remain calm in a narcissistic rage? How do you respond calmly? How do you respond and not react? How do you deal with silent treatment? Because I tell people silent treatment could be a saving grace. It could be the best thing that ever happened to you if you know how to use it well. Someone giving you silent treatment, that could be the best. But a lot of us get stuck in that silent treatment. We want to go in there and pull them out. So instead of spending that energy in trying to pull them out, how can we spend that energy to heal ourselves? So how can we take advantage of the silent treatment moments? How do you use it to your advantage? I also want you to learn how to use the I statements, active listening, to improve communication. Because remember, I have told you, if you can't go no contact, you've got to learn how to survive. So if you're parenting, week 4, we look at co-parenting. How do you do that without losing your mind? So what are these practical strategies that manage a co-parenting relationship with a narcissist? And also in week 4, we'll also learn how to coexist peacefully when it's not possible to go no contact. Week 5, and this is the difficult one. How do you gain closure with a narcissist? Because they are not going to give you closure. If you're waiting for them to come and say, you know, I'm so sorry for what I did to you, I am such and now I want, it's not going to happen. So how do you process the pain? How will we process the anger? How do you process the betrayal and the resentment that comes from being in a narcissistic relationship? Because if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, all those are emotions that you'll experience. Then how do you move forward from a narcissistic relationship? How do you heal and just move on and move forward without getting dragged back? And here I'll also teach you on the do's and the don'ts. What you need to do when you're dealing with a narcissist or when you're trying to heal, and what must you never do if you're trying to heal from a narcissistic relationship. Then week 6, it's going to be an exciting moment. We will debrief your sessions. We will debrief your journey. How has your journey been? What areas have you healed? What areas require future healing? That is what we are going to do on week 6. So the boot camp is coming. If you're looking to heal from narcissistic abuse, we are going to do a boot camp. It's going to be intense, but it's also going to be very effective. And the boot camp will start on the 8th of November, all the way to 20th December 2023. We'll be doing it on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. on Zoom. And all you need to do is to make an investment of Kenya shillings 15,000 only for this life-changing moment, this life-changing opportunity. So you'll make your payment through that pay bill number. So it is 6 weeks from 8th November all the way to 20th December, so that your next year resolutions become things that you can achieve. Because as long as you are stuck with a narcissist, as long as you're feeling confused with a narcissist, all your resolutions become nothing. You achieve very, very little. So I want you to start 2024 as a brand new person. And that is why I have put this boot camp here, so that we cross over the year as new beings. And for everyone who is going to make this investment, I have bonuses for you. There's a 3 modules recovery, narcissistic abuse recovery program that I have. And that module, that course, is going to come as a bonus. It goes for Kenya shillings 5,000. It's going to come as a bonus for you if you join this program. I will also give you the hidden abuse ebook, which is valued at 1,000, and the hidden abuse masterclass. This is a 5-module class that goes for 5,000. You will get all those free when you join the bootcamp, because I want you to be able to heal from all sides and from all angles. Remember, I said that to heal from narcissistic abuse, the first thing you need to do is to gain awareness and understanding. And these bonuses are going to help you do just that. So if you feel like option 1 does not work for you, option 1 is not working, you are not able to come to the boot camp, I have an option 2. These are resources that you will get. And these resources, you will learn them on your own. These are things you'll do on yourself. The people who come for the boot camp have access to me. I will answer all their questions. I will answer all their concerns. The assignments they will go and do, and then they come, we discuss. So those ones have the advantage of having access to me. But if you can't have that access, I want you to get the abuse recovery program, the 3-module course, which goes for 5,000, the one that I have talked about, the hidden abuse book that goes for 1,000, the ebook, and the positive femininity ebook that goes for 700 shillings. And all that, I want you to get it for an investment of Kenya shillings 700. So if you can't come to the boot camp, this is another investment that you can make. So you'll get the 3-module course, the one that I talked about, the narcissistic abuse recovery program. It's a do-it-yourself, so you get it, gain access immediately, and then you start learning on your own. And if you do option 2, where you take the narcissistic abuse recovery program, and you want to join our next boot camp, I will give you a 20% discount in that next boot camp. So it's a win-win situation for you. But I would love to have all of you in the boot camp. And the boot camp, because it's going to be intimate, it's going to be close, it's going to be a close family, it's going to be a close support group. I'm only taking 10 people because more than 10, we can't manage it. The intimacy will not be as I want it. So if you want to be in the boot camp, I want you to make your payment. I want you to book your slot so that you are not left out, you are not locked out. So our pay bill number is 522522, account number 603-1621. So if you want to be among the 10 people that are in the boot camp, please make your investment today. In conclusion, recovering from narcissistic abuse, because I want to encourage someone, recovering from narcissistic abuse is a difficult journey. But with the right tools and resources, it's possible to heal and regain control over your life. It's possible. And emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful tools. It's the only thing that helps you navigate this journey to have a healthier, happier life. And I want you to know that you're not alone. There is a hope for you. There is a hope for a better future. So don't despair. Don't despair. Come into the boot camp. If you can't come into the boot camp, please get those other resources. This could be your first support group. I want you to come, that we learn, we heal together, we laugh at our experiences together. I want you to get to a point where you can find humor in life, knowing that narcissistic abuse was just one aspect of your life. You don't have to dwell there. This does not have to become your identity. So come into the boot camp and let us all learn together. I'm going to look at a few questions. Someone is asking, how do you deal with him in court? Evidence. Evidence. If you can get representation, it's best. Because facing the narcissists may be a very difficult thing for you to do on your own. Especially if you're dealing with a court which also does not understand about narcissism. But have your evidence ready. Make sure you have facts. Because I've told you the only way to win against a narcissist is facts, truths, and the ability to stand up for yourself. How do you deal with a parent that is one? Boundaries. You cannot deal with a narcissist as if you are dealing with your everyday human. You can't. So if you want to deal with a narcissist, if you are having a narcissist, whether it's a child, a parent, your boundary setting abilities just need to be top notch. Otherwise, they'll keep dragging you. And boundary setting sometimes comes with guilt. So you also need to learn how to deal with that guilt. But the only way to deal with a narcissist is to set serious boundaries. If possible, go no contact. If possible, go no contact. A narcissist physical at times, yes. They can get physical. But physical may not be the only thing you need to look at. Remember the hallmarks that I talked about: grandiosity, lack of empathy, excessive need for admiration, among the others I talked about. Those are the things that will tell you whether someone is truly narcissistic or not. Do narcissists treat other people the same way, or those they are just in a relationship with? Narcissists will treat, if it's somebody higher than them and they have something to lose, if that relationship went south, they'll treat the higher person very well. But people that are lower than them, they treat them very badly. However, they also have a public persona. And their public persona may be so good that the person you see in public and the one you have in private are so different that it really confuses you. So people that are very close to a narcissist, their partners, their children, are the ones who bear the brunt of narcissism, or a parent. So the outside world may not know, but those very, very close to them are the ones who bear the brunt. Someone is saying I went for therapy with him and it was crazy. I was told that I have a problem. Very true. Don't go for therapy with a narcissist, please. Come to the boot camp. I'll show you how to deal with not going for therapy. I will give you I'll give you the exact words that you need to say if you find yourself in a situation where they're suggesting therapy. Someone is saying my mother was a narcissist. She was horrible. Those are horrible experiences. I'm sorry, Njori, to hear about that. But dealing with a narcissist can be the most horrible experience of your life. Actually, when you've dealt with a narcissist, trust you me, you've been to hell and back. You've been to hell and back. How can you detach from a narcissist who has already caged you through the love and, let's say, false attention at first point of meeting? Masikimeto, narcissists will always trap you with excessive love, and those relationships are trauma bonded. Actually, many relationships with a narcissist are based on trauma bonds. So it is your responsibility as the victim to break the trauma bond, to heal. Break the trauma bond. Otherwise, you remain stuck forever. Wanjiro Njoroge, and it's always so good to see you here, Wanjiro. Wanjiro is saying I tried therapists with a narcissist where Kiriniramba, and the therapist sided with him. Yeah, the therapist with narcissists are master manipulators. They will manipulate even the therapist, especially if the therapist does not understand narcissism. How to detach from a narcissist, please. Those are the things we are going to look at in the boot camp. That's where I'm going to teach you how to process your pain, because until you process your pain and face narcissism on the face it, accept the truth for what it is, then you can't heal. So you need to accept the truth for what it is, to face it. My mantra always is, you can never heal in the absence of truth. So you need to look at the truth on the face, mourn and grieve the relationship, because that will be difficult. You've got to mourn and to grieve that relationship. Then you're able to move on. Sometimes the best way to deal with a narcissist is to completely dissociate. I hope dissociate means you completely cut links. That is what we said. You go no contact, but it may not be an ideal situation for some people, especially if you're parenting together. So that is where you need to learn how to cope. I can see many, many other questions, but our time is really much spent. Let me see whether I can answer one or two more. I also want to know how you got value. I want to know what you have learned. When they is saying defamation from the support group is a game changer for me. Yes, as a victim of narcissistic abuse, you need a lot of affirmation and validation that your pain is real. That even if people can't see it, it's real. Because there are questions that that people ask in the community and the society that I find very offending. For example, if you're a lady and you're complaining of narcissistic abuse, they'll ask you silly questions like, is he beating you? So if he's not, then you have no reason to complain. Is he providing for you? So if he is, you have no reason to complain. Does he come home? If he is, you have no. So those are very invalidating questions. And you're likely going to feel like you're a terrible, terrible human being. So come into the boot camp. Let's validate each other, and let's validate each other's experiences. How can you heal from, if the narcissist is your husband and you're in a position to quit? Come to the bootcamp, Milka. This is where you go low contact. And I know it's hard, it's not ideal, but low contact is how you deal if you're in a relationship with a narcissist and you are not able to quit yet. Low contact. Masike Metal, God bless you. Ruth, thank you, Masi. Caro, here I am. Evelyn Kim, do narcissists change? There has not been any research and evidence to show that they change. Jordan Mwebi, is it possible that you can have a biased perspective that the other one is a narcissist? Yes, it is possible, and that is why we are teaching these classes, so that I teach you what to look out for, so that we stop calling everybody that is difficult, because it's not everybody that is difficult that is a narcissist. It's not. Some people are just dysfunctional. They have their own dysfunctions. They are dealing with their own pain and they are dealing with their own trauma. And with the right approach, with the right intervention, those relationships can be salvaged. But with the narcissist, there is nothing like salvaging because they have no capacity to take accountability. They have no capacity to retrospect. That is what makes narcissism hard. Because you will have all the facts, you'll have all the goodwill, but they'll trash it. Because anything that sheds light towards themselves, they won't take. So it's possible that you have a biased perspective. That is why it's important to learn what are the hallmarks of narcissism. What are its main signs? How can I say that someone is narcissistic without being biased? Mercy is saying raising the bar for some threatens their ego to a point of physical abuse. Learn how to raise the bar without provoking physical abuse. But then again, if you're in a situation where you feel you're being physically abused, seek for safety. Seek for safety. Okay, I'll read just two more. Let me see. Wow, I was trying to see where I was and pick it up from there. Dan Jiri, can a narcissist brand another narcissist? Yes, they can, to project light from themselves and to another person. So if they know a thing or two about a narcissist, they can. So they can brand another person a narcissist. So that is why it's important you understand the signs and the hallmarks and how narcissism feels like. So that even if someone brands you a narcissist, then it doesn't get to you because you know you're not one. Yes, narcissism is a personality disorder. That is what you have learned. Yes, I see Dr. Ramani's deep here. She says, deep, don't defend, don't explain, don't engage, and don't personalize. That's the way to survive narcissism. Don't defend. There's no need of defending yourself. Don't explain, don't engage, don't personalize. Someone is saying they went for therapy, mpaka someone cries, belea therapy. I have never gone back for therapy. Going for therapy with a narcissist is the worst you can ever do for yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end, I want to give Sam Ambrose 1 minute to say something to you, even as we come to the end. I look forward to seeing you people in the boot camp. Please let's come in our numbers. Remember, we only have 10 spots. Karibu Sam.
Awesome, thank you. Good evening, and let me know if you can hear me. I know sometimes, is my voice audible, Coach Ruth?
Yes, it is.
Amazing. So most of the time, especially when you are not aware who you are dealing with, and the last 2 weeks, as I was talking to you about, and I don't know why most of the time we say they are our narcissists, and I don't know why we own them as if they are part of who we are. So the program is gonna be amazing, and I think I'm gonna get a chance to share my story and how it actually affected me. Then they have this power to actually leave you on your lowest moment because they cannot deal with that particular energy when you need support. So the purpose of me, okay, I've already used my minute. Okay, one, there's a question on family access. So if you'd like to join the bootcamp with your family, so please inbox me, then we're gonna find a way for you to get maybe a discount for how many people you want to attend. Number two, there's already someone who has made deposit for the bootcamp, and that is amazing. So the person who has made bootcamp, immediately after this webinar, I'm gonna give you access to the videos and the books. So also, if you want to join the bootcamp, which is next month, what you can do, you can make a deposit today. You're going to get the bonuses, then you're gonna finish the payment by the end of the month for you to get a chance to join the bootcamp. That's what I wanted to say, Coach Ruth. You can give us the conclusion.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Actually, one person has made a deposit for the bootcamp. Another one has made their full payment. So now we have 8 slots to go. So if you really want to come into this bootcamp, I am so passionate about victims of narcissistic abuse. I feel you with every fiber of my being. I know you're very much invalidated. I want to give you a safe space to heal. because I know that if you lack the right support, a narcissist can turn your life upside down, inside out. And if you don't have the right support, then you don't know how you ever find your way back. So please come into the boot camp. I am here for you. I'll be ready to answer your questions. I am so willing to support you. So I am looking forward to seeing 10 of you into the boot camp. So if you want to be in it, please don't dilly-dally. People have already started booking their spots into the boot camp. Guys, this is the first webinar I have done with men in mind. So let's all meet in the boot camp. I also want to support you to heal from narcissism, because women are the ones who really complain about narcissists until people wonder, is it that only men are narcissists and women are not? No. The answer is that we have female narcissists. And if you are not careful, if you don't get the right support, an encounter with a narcissist, like I have said, will turn your life upside down, inside out. So I am looking forward to having you guys at the bootcamp. If you have questions, you can reach out to me or to Sam Ambrose. Sam Ambrose is my marketing guy. He's my assistant. He's my tech guy too. So if you also have questions, reach out to me, reach out to Coach, to Sam Ambrose, and I look forward to having 10 of you in the bootcamp. Let me also take this moment to appreciate you for coming in your numbers to this webinar. I always feel so blessed, so blessed to have you in my space, and for me to share the knowledge and the healing wisdom that God has poured into my heart. So thank you so much for attending this webinar tonight. If you have questions, please come into my inbox, talk to Sam Ambrose. Let's see how we can support you get into the bootcamp or the other program, if that is what you need. So at this moment, let's say our good nights as we sleep. And I wish you a restful night. I wish you a wonderful night. Peter Nyoike is saying, sure, nobody believes men. Yes, and that is why I decided to include men in this specific program and to include them in this webinar, because I want every victim of narcissistic abuse to feel heard and validated. That may be the best gift I've ever give you, to make you feel heard and very validated. So please come to the webinar. If you have questions, come into my inbox. Have a good night. I look forward to having you in our many other forums and in our many other webinars. Tell a friend about tonight's webinar. It's still accessible through the same link that we provided earlier. So it's a YouTube link. So if you want to rewatch this program, if you want to rewatch this session, please go through the link. Otherwise, let's say our good nights. Have a blessed night and see you later. Thank you.